Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Dragon's Dogma. I am your host, Alexander Frost, and this is Episode 2. Now, before we go on, I would like to explain a few very key, very important things. First of all, this game is clearly meant to be played in 16:9 aspect ratio, as you can tell by the black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. However, my recording using Pinnacle Studio, while it does support 16:9, uses 4:3 by default. Now, as you saw in the last video, it looked pretty decent. Everything looked okay. But I decided to try and record in 16:9. That did not fly well. For whatever reason, my system decided it was going to severely lag out the video and add an extra 2 minutes of blankness that just weren't there, and it's an issue that's been cropping up, and it tells me I just need a new system, because Pinnacle Studio used to not do this. Anyways, as a result, videos with Dragon's Dogma may take a little bit more time for me to record. Secondly, Dragon's Dogma is not going to impede Parasite Eve 2 in any way, shape, or form, so there's no need to worry about that. This is what is going to replace Samurai Warriors until I can find a new Samurai Warriors disc. So, there's that thing. There was something else I was going to explain, but I'm not sure what it was. I just sort of forgot. Oh yes, the save system. The save system in Dragon's Dogma is kind of dumb. You see, with most free-roaming RPG-style games like this, like, let's say, Fallout, for example, or the Elder Scrolls, you have an autosave slot, and then you have a save slot. You can save the game wherever you want, except inside of combat, which is normal, and then you have an autosave slot, which automatically saves the game whenever you do certain things, like entering a new area, for example, which is fine. In this game, Capcom decided to meld the autosave and main save slots together. So every time you make an important decision or enter a new area or something, the game automatically saves. So that means if, for example, when I tried to record this last video and got lag, I walked over, I selected a new weapon for Beardo to use, and went through explaining all the vocations, how it worked, how I was going to build him up, and then when I was finished, the game saved with me standing next to the table. Well, because of the lag, when I reloaded, the game was like, oh, no, you gotta stand next to the table now. Fortunately, the game also has a secondary save called checkpoint saves. This is what the game usually defaults back to whenever you die in combat and choose to restart. Checkpoint saves only happen whenever you sleep at an inn, which is kind of a good thing. So, in a way, it's your main save more than anything. So, fortunately, the game was nice enough to let me keep my first checkpoint save, which was before I went and picked a weapon. So, now that I've gone and chewed your ear off about that, let's go pick us out a weapon. Now, choosing a vocation, a starting vocation, is more important than you might think. It is way more important than just picking whatever kind of weapon you want to smack the enemy with. You see, each class, or vocation I should say, has what's called stat growth attached to it. Every time you level up, your stats will be increased a certain amount based on which stat you use, or based on which class you are. And it's split up as follows. From level 1 to level 10, which is your starting, so obviously that's pretty decent. Then from level 10 to level 100, each class stat growth changes. Then from level 100 to 200, it changes again, 200 being the limit. So as a fighter, I get 30 HP and 20 stamina, 4 attack, 3 defense, 2 magic attack, and 2 magic defense, every level from level 1 to level 10. From level 10 on up to 100, I get 37 HP, 15 stamina, 4 attack and defense, 2 magic attack, and 1 magic defense. This is the best class in the entire game for building up pure defensive power. No other class offers this high a bonus, defensively speaking. From level 100 to 200, when you'll be slowing down as far as leveling up goes, you'll be getting a lot less. 15 HP, 5 stamina, 1 attack, 3 defense, no magic attack, and no magic defense. So even at level 100 to 200, you're still getting a lot of defensive power. The Strider class, which uses daggers and bows, decent enough, starts off at level 10. Actually, I should say from level 10 on up to level 100 is the most balanced of the 3 starting classes. You'll get 25 HP, 25 stamina, 3 attack, defense, and magic attack, and then 2 magic defense. So it's very, very balanced and even. From level 100 on up to 200, though, you get a significant drop. Only 5 HP, 15 stamina, and then 1 attack, defense, magic attack, and magic defense across the board. Mage, a class that I will not be using. I will explain why. I might use it a little, I don't know. But as far as Mage goes, from level 10 on down to level 1, or I should say from 1 on up to level 10, you get 22 HP, 20 stamina, 2 attack, 3 defense, and then 4 magic attack and 3 magic defense. Obviously, this class is built around upping your magic attack. From level 10 on up to 100, you get 21 HP, 10 stamina, 2 attack, 1 defense, and then 4 magic attack and 4 magic defense. Like Fighter, it's the best if you want to build up your magic attack. And then from level 100 on up, you just get 10 HP, 10 stamina, no attack or defense, and then only 2 magic attack and magic defense. Making me thirsty. There are actually 9 classes total in the game, but we only have access to the 3 for right now. So it's actually incredibly important that you pick and choose which class you want to use, or which class you want to build up a great character with. So for starters, from level 1 up to level 10, I am going to be a fighter. Now, I'm not going to show you every class in the game. And the reason being that there are some classes I just don't like to use. So you will see them, because there will be other characters in the game that we encounter that use these classes. So you will get to see them, but I'm not going to use them personally. One of them being Mage. I might use it a little, I don't know. But for the most part, I'm probably just going to be straight up fighter for right now. I will go to the Strider class, because believe it or not, the bow is a very, very good secondary weapon against very big enemies. But for now, fighter. We want to build up our base stats. Yes, we want to be this vocation. So now we can equip ourselves with primary and secondary weapons. Every class is like this. For us, our primary weapon is a single-handed sword, and a secondary is a shield. This is just like the same... My apologies for the phlegm. This is just like what the character in the prologue was using. Now, the layout of everything. And there is so much. First we have save and quit, blah blah blah. From here we can save and continue, save, return to the title screen, return to our last checkpoint, or quit without saving. We can also simply press the select button from right here and save. History. This is a compilation of all our feats up to date. We can also check past pawn conversations. We haven't had any. We can look over controls, combat, all that good love. This is a tutorial log, so it's very nice to have. Information on pawns that we've used most recently. Okay, folks, if... No, wait, I take it back. That's not going to happen. Never mind. I was going to say, if you create a pawn, there's every chance I might find it on the internet, but there's one little thing. I never do LPs while I'm online, just so I don't get disturbed by anyone. Also, with the account that I created, I don't have a PSN account, so I couldn't do it anyway. So the point is moot. I'll only be able to use pawns that are provided by the game itself. And then our adventure log. So far, we've only been in it for 43 minutes, and we have done nothing else. Nothing. Nothing at all. Wait. We learned 2 weapon skills. We've used 2 of them. We've obtained a few weapons. So we've done a little, but not a whole lot. The map. You have 3 maps. The neighborhood, which is the immediate vicinity you're in. This represents the entire area that you can enter without having to go through a load screen, which is rather nice. The area, which is an immediate area around where you are. Oh, that's odd. Why is all this? Okay, this is the basic path that leads to the capital, which is way up here. And then you have the overall area map, which is, as you can see, largely undiscovered. So there is a lot to see and do. Also on the map, you can lay down waypoints and set them in order 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3, which is kind of nice. You can set yourself up waypoints. It's not bad. It's not bad. Quests. You can look over your completed quests, whether you've completed them or failed them. Current quests, which you can select, and then you can check in the details. Terry no longer leave the room. Okay, this is newly arisen. We've gotten our weapons. We've got everything we need. So, there we go. Also, if you're ever confused, and you don't know what it is you're supposed to do exactly as far as the story goes, from here, simply press the square button to access the Chronicle, which will give you a basic rundown of what you've most recently done and what it is you need to do. In this case, we just woke up, we got ourselves a new weapon. Let's go talk to the villagers and see if they're okay after the attack by the dragon. So there you go. Equipment. From here, you can choose which equipment you want to use. Now from here, all I've got is a rusty sword, which can be used by, as you can see, there's the Vocations, a list of all the other classes available. I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I will not play as the Mystic Knight, the Sorcerer, or the Magic Archer. I might play the Magic Archer a little bit for one level just to show you some of the abilities, but for the most part, not going to use it. Every other class, fair game. You might see it. Well, no, wait, then there's Mage and Sorcerer. But Fighter, Strider, Assassin, Warrior, and Ranger, you will see me use those with great effect and joy. Our rusty shield, it's a shield that is rusty as all hell. There are head items that you can wear. I will not be wearing them because Beardo and his face will not be restrained. Torso items, of course. Apparently we have 2. Ah, yes. An outfit. Our old tatters. We're not going to keep those. We don't have anything on our arms. We have our pants, cloth greaves, and then, of course, accessory items. We can change different characters in the party, but for right now, it's just us. Our state hosts. For right now, we are at level 1. We have no experience, 450 HP, 560 stamina. We're a fighter with no rank. We have not learned anything in our vocation. Discipline points. You acquire discipline points when you kill enemies. Those discipline points are used to unlock new abilities inside your vocation. Discipline points transfer between your vocation changes, so you don't have to worry about that. I'd originally thought that vocations, or I should say that discipline points were earned whenever you leveled up, because that's usually whenever I upgraded my class. In fact, this is incorrect. You earn discipline points by fighting enemies. The more powerful the enemy, the more discipline points you earn. And that gives us a basic rundown of our strength. Right now, the way the strength works is, you see it says 90 and then 80 in parentheses. The 80 is our base strength. That is how powerful we are with no weapons equipped. The number outside the parentheses is our strength with our sword equipped, which is only 10. And we only get 4 extra points in secondary, which means 4 points of defense. We have no magic attack at all, aside from our base. Stagger power, the ability to stagger enemies. Okay, knockdown power, the ability, to knock down enemies. We have no elemental resistances or attacks. We have no debilitations, which are negative status changes like poison, sleep, and so forth. We have no resistances to them either. Oh, I read that incorrectly. I'm stupid. This lists our elemental and debilitation attack power with each weapon we have. Defensively speaking, our base defense is 80, with only 8 more points there. Barely any magic resistance. We can resist piercing by 2% and nothing else. That's kind of sad, and I'm sorry I keep messing up my buttons here. For right now, these are our skills. They will fill out considerably. This is what we have equipped, and it will list what we have total. Our core skills, which we will get more of later, are augments. We have no core skills or augments. We have only the sword skill. We have no dagger skills or staff skills. We have a shield skill, no bow skills. We are in good condition, nothing is wrong. And our basic profile, yes, the moniker, I should explain that real quick. What the moniker is, if you play online and someone chooses to use your pawn, and it'll actually say who created the pawn, if you have parental controls on, then you will only be able to see that character's moniker, or, well, yeah, just in case someone decides, my name is Ass. Okay, your name is Ass. You don't want your child to see that, you'll see a moniker, and there is a huge library of monikers. And since it's Capcom, every Capcom character is there, so I could have literally chosen my moniker to be Ryu, or Ken, or Chun-Li, or Dalsim. Okay? It was pretty awesome. Gender is male. Our height and weight are all metric. So 185 height is something like, I have no idea, and then 92 weight is in kilograms. If someone wants to do the math on that, go right ahead. And then finally, options. Inverted y-axis? No thank you. Inverted x-axis? No. Camera sensitivity is just fine. We have our control scheme here. Everything's good. And from here we can adjust our music, sound effects, and brightness. As you can see here, the game is as bright as I can possibly make it. It's actually a bit brighter on my screen, because I can see the bee dragon just fine. And then, of course, finally our minimap display. Minimap rotation? No thank you. No connectivity. Button guide will stay on. Our command display will stay on. Status display of party and enemies. Very handy. Pawn subtitles. I might turn that off if they get kind of chatty. And there you go. That is all of it. And photos. We can actually take photographs. You see, there's this game called MotorStorm, in which you could do the same thing. You pause the game, select photo, and then you could rotate the camera around to take a good picture. Here, not so much. Here, it takes a picture of what it is you're doing right then, and then you can upload it straight to Facebook. I don't have Facebook, so I don't do it. I do have some photos of my adventures as my main character when I first got the game, and there's some pretty decent pictures in there, and I will show. And if we find any memorable photos that we find, if I come across any memorable moments, I will stop and take a picture. I'll try to keep it to a minimum, though, because it does take time. Okay, you've been patient with me, you've listened to me yammer on for 15 minutes. And now you're going to listen to me yammer on some more. As we go through the game, you'll see that there are various items that we can pick up. And I've explained this before. You can pick them up, you can put them down, you can throw them as improvised weapons. You'll also find pots like this one that says take water. If we have empty flasks, we can actually put water in them. Other flasks, like this one here, has oil in it. Oh, this is Mithrade. Or not Mithrade, this is something else. Or take water. There are also pots that have oil in them. There are two different status ability. There's a status debilitation called oil. If you get covered in oil, you are vulnerable to being lit on fire that much more. You can use a flask of water to wash yourself off. Oil also has other abilities too, but in a pinch, if one of your pawns is on fire, you can literally pick it up and throw it. Oops. As you can see here, I accidentally hit him slightly.
Ah, the horror of it.
Every character, even if they only have one line, has a line of dialogue. Now then, let's see. We got a small nut. We also got this blank scroll here. Oh, I should have... pressing select will actually take you to your inventory. That should be noted. While you can actually see your weapons, you cannot choose to equip or de-equip them here. You have to do it from your equipment menu through the pause menu. But from here you can get a basic overview of everyone's health, their status, how much weight they're carrying, and so forth. Weight does have a direct effect on how fast you move, so it's really best if you keep yourself light. But this is the only place you can overlook your items here. You've got curatives. So from here we have Mithridate, which will purge the body of poison. So it's a antidote. A small nut, which will recover a little bit of health. You might have remembered in the previous video when I was getting my ass handed to me by the Chimera that my health bar kept going down between green and gray. That gray section indicates how much health I can reclaim, but ultimately my health will go down all the way. Sort of like in a fighting game, like Marvel vs. Capcom. You notice you have a yellow health bar. When you take a hit, it goes down a bit and turns red. And that red bit represents how much you can regain over time. Ultimately, the only way to regain your health fully is either through the use of healing items or just resting at an inn. Tools are tool items that can help you during adventure or combat. We don't have any. Materials for use in crafting of various weapons and items. We don't have any. Key items, which we don't have. And then other, which is everything else. In this case, we have a blank scroll. Not really anything we can do with that aside from sell it, to be bluntly honest. Now then, I've hemmed and hawed enough. Let's leave the room and move on with the story.
You say it left a glowing scar?
Yes. The wound has closed, and it seems the worst has passed, but his heart lies silent.
If you will face me. You are sure of this?
Yes.
Ill magic, the work of some curse. The whole world's already gone mad for fear of this dragon. Won't no good come of this? I must go see to the others, Kina. Tell me if aught changes here.
All right.
Now, I should have mentioned this before. In the cutscene, when the dragon attacked, it looked like Beardo had a family and all that. This is in fact incorrect. Kina here just happens to be very sweet on your character. In this case, she's sweet on Beardo. And that kid that she was saving was just a random village kid who fell down and was crying. So she was simply trying to do the right thing. As of right now, our man Beardo is single. Yes, I've explained all this. So we completed our quest, we got ourselves some new items. This is the singular most important item you will ever find, the lantern. It will light up dark areas and allow you to see, essential for night travel or travel in caves. Trust me, you will want to keep this on you, and you will always want to keep a supply of oil on you, because lanterns actually do run out of they run out of oil eventually. I won't use it right now because it's not dark. Also, items like this Strag of Beast and this Green Warish, items like this can actually wear out and eventually become rotten. Their effectiveness will go down, and once they rot completely, you can't eat them because they'll poison your ass. So don't be surprised if I make another video and come back and all 4 of those items are rotting. This is why I prefer to buy potions and such.
You should be abed. I wish you would not strain yourself so.
I'm fine.
I'm worried for you, cuz.
Yes, everyone in this village calls them each other cuz, or cousin, just out of relation. Flasks of oil. Just like the flasks of water, they have 2 purposes. 1, you can use it to keep your lantern lit, or 2, you can throw it at somebody. While it does little damage, it does coat them in oil and make them susceptible to fire. A little more of that. A weird thing is, once you go to certain inns, you can actually put items away in inventory. And the weird thing about that is once you put an item in storage, it like goes into suspended animation and never rots, no matter what it is. And by luck, there happens to be an inn here in town. This is our hometown of Cassidus, or in Beardo's case, his home of retirement. Now I should note, if you go down into the water, if you go in too deep, you will suddenly become surrounded by red. This is something called the brine. When that happens, you will be sucked in and then deposited back on shore. This is the game's way of ensuring that you don't go wandering off and swimming into the ocean. So, the game wants us now to go down and talk to the villagers proper and make sure that everything's okay, which it is. There are several quests that we can undertake before we leave, and we will. First things first, though. This is our home. Not much to it, really. As far as I know, there's nothing we can do to improve it. Now, that item I just picked up, berries, those are nice. Let's see, that cures most physical debilitations. This is something we'll be getting around. Yes, you can just pick up random items, like a festival pie, a ceramic jug. There's not really much you can do with that aside from sell it. And sell it we will! In fact, I'm going to take this bucket and this broom, because they're mine and I can do whatever I want with them. Also, carrots. You can actually make items here, too. Now, there's not much that we can make right now. Yes, we can combine items to make a myriad of other items. There are so many things we can make. I cannot make anything yet because I do not have the other item. What can I combine that? I can combine nothing. I cannot make anything right now. I generally try not to because I usually don't have the items I need and I don't go hunting for items. But here are people. Here are people.
Ah, it's you. The one what stood against the dragon when he set on the village. I hear fearsome tell of your wounds. Is there aught I can do for you?
No, I'm actually alright. I think I'll be okay. Now here we can take our first quest. You see that little question mark above everyone's head? Here's how it works. Question marks come in 4 different flavors. Green indicates that the person in question has a quest for you to undertake, should you choose to. Red means that, if I remember correctly, this is a person of importance that you need to speak to finish or move on to the next part of the quest. Yellow means that that person has information that's pertinent to you finishing the quest, someone you need to talk to, but you don't have that quest selected as your primary. So you can still talk to them and you'll still know, oh, gotta talk to that person when I do this other quest. And then blue, which you'll very rarely see, means you have the items necessary, you can complete the quest, go talk to them. So let's go talk to this lady.
I'd craft dressings for the wounded had I the makings. If only I'd known. 'Cause I need a favor. Can you fetch the flowers I need from outside the village? I need more of the one you see there. And one other sort besides. The more you can find, the better.
Yes. Yes, I just explained all that. So she needs us to go and get an item, I believe, called Sunbright, which is outside the village, but we're not going out there yet. She also needs us to find an item called, I don't remember what it's called, but I know where I can find some. Now, clicking L3 will cause you to run, or sprint. Here's something important that you need to notice. The stamina gauge underneath my health gauge is not going down. If you're inside a village or other place that is considered safe and habitable by people, you have infinite stamina. If you're in a dungeon, however, your stamina will go down. So don't be afraid to use this to run around at top speed and get through town as quickly as possible. Now here in Starfall Bay is an item that we need. There's a flower that should grow. That should have been growing over here. Okay, that's really strange. I guess it hasn't appeared yet, just because I am not on that part of the quest yet. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Oh yes, treasure chests, and this is very important and awesome. Treasure chests respawn given enough time. So there is absolutely no reason for you to not go wandering around picking up more items. And I don't know why I appear to be in the iris of a camera or possibly a sniper rifle. I think it's just the general brightness of the game overall, because it is daytime. Let me see if I can do something about that. Now, let's see if that helps a little bit. No, not really. I guess it's something we're just going to have to live with. I think it might be more noticeable just because we're out on the beach, where it's really, really bright. Yes, I know. Over here... Oh dear. Alright, I just got hit with a huge spike of lag. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take us into the end and then call this a video. No, I think it's okay now, but I do want to call it a video because I don't want to be recording more than 30 minutes. At the end, we can do several things.
Benita has you picking flowers for her. Right, just be cautious, cousin. The monsters grow bolder by night. If you must leave the village, go prepared.
I plan to.
I do not fancy the thought of you going off on your own, but I trust in your judgment. If you come by the inn, you can always rest until the hour you wish to set out. In any case, take care.
But right now, we can only do two things. We can rest, or we can manage our stored items. From here, and this is awesome, we can deposit items in our inventory, withdraw anything, or we can combine the items we have in our inventory. Here's the really cool thing. You can upgrade your weapons and items and such as the game progresses, but you don't have to carry every single piece of material item on you. As long as it's in your inventory, if it's in your inventory, one of your pawn's inventories, in the shop's inventory, or I should say in the inn's inventory, where you've deposited all your stuff, you have free access to it, which is awesome. You can also sell items straight from your reserve inventory, too.
What can I do you for?
As far as resting goes, we can either choose to stay till morning, or we can actually stay till nightfall and begin our journey then, or not. I choose to stay till morning.
So be it.
This will also make us a nice little checkpoint save, as well as save content. From here, however, I'm going to have to call it a video. I know, not much happened, but we're going to make another video today. So for right now, though, I'm going to call it an end, and next time, I promise, we'll actually kill something.